guys, super nice flexible audio setup for you guys who've got a smaller space or even a mid-sized space depending what your setup is. Let's go through it. So here we have a Yamaha surround speaker kit. These were new not long ago, and you can still find listings for them online. I'll put the specs in the ad. We also have a 5.1 Pioneer VSX D511, which is a solid unit. It's an older receiver, but it pumps the tunes and it is Pioneer quality. And we have a Mission 100 watt powered subwoofer, which I will put in the ad. It's a great setup. I've got it plumbed in right now just with an iDevice that is plumbed actually into the CD connection, and this is easy to set up if you want to have a hard connection. You can get a Bluetooth adapter, and that's not a big deal, but if you want a hard connection, that's how you do it with older systems. All high quality connections, and it's a great setup. But I guess the best testament is to show you how it works. So I picked a track which you'll be very familiar with, in as much as it shows the highs and the lows. So let's do that. So we're starting off with some Thunderstruck. I'm going to turn up for the treble. Folks, I'm just going to turn that right down. This receiver was driving the setup at full power, and there's no buzz, no artifact noise, just delivering very clean, crisp sound. And again, the Mission powered sub is doing its job in spades. Now I've got covers for all of these speakers, and you'll see that in the ad. I'll post a photo of that. It's basically a like new setup. You have a little bit of blend of yesterday and some of the new. This receiver here, probably about 10 years old, but it's Pioneer, so I mean, it's like getting a Mercedes that, has got very low mileage on it and hasn't been put away wet. And in conjunction with the Mission sub, which is a high quality unit, and these speakers, you're going to pay a lot less than you get something new for. And really, the only thing that a new setup will bring to you is that if it possibly has a Bluetooth setup. But again, for those of you audio purists out there, you have two choices. You can get a Bluetooth adapter for as little as $20, or you can just get a hard wire like I've shown you here, and that's like a couple dollars, at your local supplier. And that gives you the same audio as everyone else gets. And if you are using an iDevice, using internet audio or digital audio, a lot of it's going to be voice control. So even the necessity to have a remote for the receiver is really unnecessary, because in this particular case, there's several inputs for this receiver. CD, an auxiliary record player, and a DVD player, other things like that. So you can still run your TV and things like that through it for delivering the audio. It's even got a digital in, and I'll put the specs in the ad. But the nice thing about having actually things like the Bluetooth outside the unit is that if you buy a unit, a lot of guys will buy a modern unit with some of that tech, and then it fails, and then it renders the unit useless. So what can I say? I think those of you who know and will have listened to what I just described, I think you'll be pretty much on board with what I'm saying there. Now, like I said, I will separate this setup if you want. I'll put the separate pricing in the ad, but you will get a better deal if you buy it together as a package. So it's a good way to go. But what can I say, guys? This is a great audio setup, and if you want some pumping tunes, because make no mistake, I know you're hearing it through your computer speakers, but when I was pounding it out there, it was delivering some serious, it was moving some serious air, and I could feel it on my chest. So what can I tell you? Certainly not the most expensive setup out there, certainly not the cheapest, but excellent value. And with wintertime approaching, you're spending more time indoors. The difference between a 5.1 setup and a 7.1 is negligible, especially if you got a smaller room. but having high quality components, that's really what you want. So short of that, guys, this is simple stuff. Watch this video again if you need to look at any of the aspects of it again, study the photos. Pricing is firm. I understand in the electronics, and especially, a lot of guys are going to throw me an offer. I simply will not be responding to those. So if you watch this video and then you decide to throw me an offer and you don't get a response, that will be why. It's priced effectively, and I just don't have time for the game of will you take. As you folks can tell by the quality of this ad, I am no stranger to selling stuff, and it all sells. It all sells. Whether it's today or tomorrow, it all sells. So short of that, guys, send me a text, email, or phone call, and I'll sell it to you.